Because we're doing it. Hey, good morning. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. It is 7:58, not quite 8 o'clock yet. Got the house together, everything. Kids are home on the holidays, messing up schedules, dogs, cats, whole crew, right? Anyway, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, and here we talk about Scrum in a tactical and practical way so you can bring value to your customer, get home to your family and friends, not work 60, 80 hours a week, and have a little fun along the way, right? We always try to do that. Today, I got two topics that I want to talk about. One was a pet peeve, driving me nuts, about estimation. We'll talk about that first. And then I'm going to talk about that iron triangle everybody describes and the fixed constraints and things like that. And tell you they're telling you all the wrong stuff. They've been telling you the wrong thing forever. So this is an eye-opener. If you're watching it, you're going to see. I'm going to talk about that iron triangle that they all talk about, which is a fake thing and not really true. So first off, estimation. I saw an ad somewhere on LinkedIn yesterday, and this company or somebody sent me an email. I forget what it is. I got to find it and just reply back and say, you're nuts. So they said, hey, we will give you software to help your teams make better estimations. And they're supposed to be an Agile organization. The whole idea behind estimations and every Agile class you ever take in your entire life will say, we were always wrong with estimates. So why are we trying to make them better? It's just a never-ending fact that estimates will be wrong. And if you try to nail them down to a pinhole, then you're in the wrong area. The whole point of what we teach and how we do it is so you don't spend a lot of time working on something that's definitely going to be wrong in the end. Why waste your time on doing something that's going to be wrong? That doesn't make any sense. It's just supposed to give you an idea where you're at so you get some boundaries on what you're doing. It's not about being accurate, okay? And that's where people don't understand. And I talk about commitment and getting stuff done. The major idea is that you don't spend a lot of time overcommitting on getting too much stuff in that you just don't get done and you piss off your customer, which talks about the customer, right? It's not about, well, let's get it really accurate. No, the question is stop overcommitting to what you can't do and be realistic. You can always bring more work into the sprint. So who cares about the estimate? Because if we do better and we produce more than we predicted, then we bring more work in and we get more stuff done and we hand it to the customer. That's a good thing, right? So anyway, this ad was about how to do better at estimating. And again, the whole point is we want to spend as little time estimating as possible, like we talked about the other day. You know, when you do capacity analysis, spending all kinds of hours and time. I bet you there's companies that spend thousands of hours trying to figure out the stupid capacity spreadsheets and getting everybody and just pissing everybody off, right? And all they got to do is say, okay, we got a couple people out today. Here's how many people are going to be out. What do you all as a team think we should reduce from our velocity that we're going to take on in the next sprint? And it's a target. And until you analyze all the stories you want, you don't know if that target, but that's just supposed to give you an idea. Let's not go for 60 when everybody's going to be out. So we should just get 40, right? And you do the planning poker thing where you say, yeah, we got people out. So I think we should take 2 points off the sprint total. And then we're done. It's it. Gone. And the estimate for the capacity for the sprint is there, establishing what we want to go for. And then you pick the stories that are prioritized by the product owner and you fill in how much space you have in there based on what they prioritize, because they're supposed to prioritize it based on what they think they want to get done and the value to the customer. Think about that, right? So it's relatively simple, but I find amazing these Agile accountants out there creating a whole business that help you better estimate your stuff, which we all know is wrong. The whole idea is you don't spend a lot of time estimating. That's why we do the points. We don't want to do the hours. We do the major calculations. We don't need fancy. We don't need half points. When any Agile coach says they're going to do a half point, I want to take them out and fire their asses. Because what the F are you doing? And we don't need to be that fine-tuned in our estimates because it doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of time. Right? It's not getting product to the customer. It's just people playing, oh, I could do stuff with spreadsheets. I can do a lot of stuff in spreadsheets. I can do a lot of stuff in Jira that people don't know about. I really can. I'm not a coder. The coders could do some neat stuff, but I'm surprised they haven't done it. One day I'll get into your coding business. I really need to. I can make so much money making stuff for Jira. Anyway, so that was my first thing. Estimates are always wrong. And I can't believe the Agile accountants are out there building companies to help you make better estimates. It defeats the whole thing. It's like, did you not take the Scrum Master class? Any Scrum class, any Agile class whatsoever? The first thing comes out of their mouth. We know from history that we're always wrong with the estimates. Okay. So why do we keep working on stuff that's going to be wrong no matter what? All right. So the next thing is the triangle. All right. It's always helping somebody with how to do a chart. And again, I use my hands. So the triangle, what they teach you in project management class and Agile class is not real. It's fake. Okay. So I'm going to draw a little triangle. So there's this triangle. They call it the iron triad. Iron triad. Top part is scope. And then cost and schedule. Right? And then the idea behind the Agile thing is they go, this is fixed. And this is like flexible. And then we make a new triangle. And this is scope side. This is the flexible side. And this is cost and schedule. And I'm gonna write it big letters. I gotta get my red one. I don't have my red pen. Black. I can use my black pen. Does my black pen work? Let's see if my black pen works. False. False. It's false. It's not real. Because in all my years of program management, cost and schedule have always been fixed. Always. Scope changes. Okay? That's how you're successful in project management. Cost, even on a cost plus contract, working with the government for like almost 20 years. So cost, they have a cost plus. There is called a budget. Congress gives them a budget. Budget says that you got $1 million to spend. You have $1 million to spend. Even if your costs exceed it, what happens is your program gets cut. So literally, your maximum expense is $1 million, no matter what. So that cost number is always fixed. Schedule. Commercial business. We're rolling this out. We're going to announce we're going to go out in November. We want to put a product out on the street in November for the new year to get to the Christmas. Say the Christmas holidays come. We're going to put out. So November. So schedule is fixed because we want to introduce a new product line so they buy it in time for Christmas. Schedule is fixed. Scope is the only thing that moves. What can I make for this cost and what can I make for this much time is my scope. It changes. It always does. Some people may not think, and I'm going to tell you, the ones who do change it, except for the ones that pay a lot of money and they get money, but in the real commercial world, that doesn't happen, right? You always die with scope change and all that, but you should make it reduce. You end up reducing the scope and not increasing scope. You barely get any money you think you're going to get unless you sue them, and then you're going to spend more money on lawyers. In the Agile world, this is Agile, and this is PM world, right? Project world. In the Agile world, they say schedule and costs are fixed. Scope is flexible. Scope is based on value. So the scope's always there, it changes. But this falsehood has always been false. We've always worked in the Agile way in project management as far as things go. scope, you figure out what can you fit into that thing. The interesting thing about Agile with the cost and schedule being fixed, the only thing in Agile that's fixed is a fictitious time box. 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, whatever it would be, 1 quarter, that's the schedule. Cost is the number of people in your team. It's not that complicated, and everybody makes it into being such a complicated world, but what they're telling you is all false. Okay? The triangle never really worked. It never was constrained. They call it a constraint. These are constraints. No, they are constraints, but they're not constraint. They're not like an engineering term where it's a fixed constraint. It's more of on a roller bearing constraint type. We want to call it a beam type design, where it's more. God, I've been engineering. I must have slept weird. So you got a beam. This is a fixed constraint. This is a roller bearing. So that this will always move, and you put, that's why if you look under bridges, you're going to see one side fixed and one side on a roller bearing. But you didn't know that, did you? So when you drive over the road and you're flexing it, it moves, because otherwise it would tear the walls apart. So one side's on a roller bearing, the other one side's fixed, and they make a cantilever beam. And that's how most things are designed, for flexibility, right? So all this is not really constrained. It has a little bit of flexibility, but not much, right? So people, when they say, oh, we'll ask for more money because we didn't meet the scope, we didn't deliver any value to the customer, so we'll just ask the customer for more money because we didn't deliver the value. No, you got about as much flexibility as that steel beam on a bridge sitting on a roller bearing. Ain't much. It just moves a little bit, give it a little take, so you don't tear the walls out of the side. That's all the flexibility you get. And Agile, right? Your flexibility is because you treat everything as a deployable piece of product, a piece of value. You just throw value into the time box which you created, and you only have so many people on the team, which is your fixed cost. There's Sean clapping away. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Good morning. So that's what you got, right? So think about it. So what they teach you about the triad is wrong. It never was that. And if anybody comes in and does a project manager, well, these are fixed. I'm like, yeah, no, the cost is fixed. Your schedule's fixed. The scope adjusts, because you got to figure out what you can get in that time period. Again, you got to deliver gifts and new product line in time for Christmas. Delivering that new product line in January doesn't make you the money. That time box is fixed. That time is fixed. When people say time, well, we need flexibility. No. You change what we're going to deliver. You don't deliver as much stuff, but you deliver good value, solid value to the customer. Okay? Next year, we'll make a mod and we'll deliver the next year. We'll put some extra stuff on it, and we'll add more value, and we'll grow that product line into more facets of the business. That's how it works. So 2 falsehoods they tell you. Estimating will get better, which is wrong, because the first day, the first lesson, the first hour, any Scrum Master class tells you that estimating has always been wrong, and it is. I can give you hints on how to make it better. Maybe we'll do another show. But it's always wrong. So when I see a company say, we're going to help your teams make better estimates, I just want them to deliver value to the customer, right? And get it down, small pieces value, and just keep going, keep building value. And then the other one is the triad. Scope has never been fixed ever in the history of project management, and it always adjusts. It has to, and more likely your cost and your time are fixed in project management. You just don't realize it. There's just a little bearing, gives you a little give, so you don't tear the whole infrastructure down. But that's it. So those are 2 falsehoods that I wanted to talk about today, that people are telling people out there in the world, and they just don't have a clue what they did because they've never done it before. I've done it for years in both worlds, all the worlds, and they teach you stuff from school, stuff that they don't know anything. Anyway, sorry about that. It was my rant. That whole thing with the whole estimation thing just blew my mind. So I wish you a good day. And if you want any consulting on how to do it, my best bet is make estimation as quick, as briefly, and painless as possible, and be done with it and move on. So give us a thumbs up if you like the show. I know we're a little radical here. Ring the bell if you like what we're saying. Share with your friends. We do get a little radical here. So we're saying estimation's always going to be wrong. And the triad, the triangle, scope has always been fixed for the history of project management. Just what you do. I could probably show you stuff with the pyramids that were, quote, oh, this was the scope we wanted with the pyramids. And I bet you I can show you a lot of things in those pyramids that were changed a long time so they can meet this cost and schedule that the Pharaoh gave them. Okay? All right. You all have a great day. Holiday's almost here. We're getting there. And I wish you the best. Happy scrumming. Take care. Bye. See ya.